Welcome class, today's lesson 2-4. Strong mathematicians can represent one digit by two-digit multiplication using area models. There's a lot of time learning our math facts, and now we're starting to expand our numbers to get even bigger numbers, so it's not a one digit by one digit. Today is one digit by two, and we're looking at using area models. So grab your notebook, write today's date, and the lesson, and let's begin. So one thing you know is you can draw a rectangle for any multiplication. We call it the area model. The reason why we do this one is because we are going to be able to break apart the numbers as we've done before and put it into an area model. We'll use this one quite a bit because it can help us with all different types of multiplication. And eventually we're going to transition from this to another method, but we got to learn this method really solidly first. So right now you can draw a rectangle for any multiplication, quote, the area model. So you can either write that down or you can just write the examples down today. So here we go. We're going to take 4 times 26. Now you'll notice right now you'll see some things that you've probably already recognized that we've done. We've seen the 4. Nothing we need to break down the 4 anymore. But you notice the 26 is a two-digit number. So we broke the two-digit number into, what is 26? Well, it's 20 plus 6. So by using expanded notation, we're able to break apart 26 into a tens place value number and a ones place value number. So what we're going to do next, we're going to multiply 4 times 20, and we're going to multiply 4 times 6. By multiplying both of these sections, we're going to get what the total of this entire area is. So now we know 4 times 2 is 8, and 1 from the 4 and 10 from the 20 is 10, so it would be 80. So kind of using those same strategies we've been working on, taking apart numbers and doing that. Notice we take 4 times 2 and we have 1 0, which is the tens place value. We can make it not 8, it would be 80. Here we have a ones and a 1, so 4 times 6 is 24. Now that we have these two partial products, we're going to add those two answers together to get the entire answer for 4 times 26. So we have 80 plus 24. When we add them up, 4, 8 plus 2 is 10. We get 104. So you're going to pause the video right now and write down this information to help you how we use the area model to get an answer. Since it's a new concept, we're going to couple prompts to really help us out. Here's 8 times 38. What do we do again? We took the 8 as in the ones place value, so that's why we only need one row. We have 38, which is a two-digit number. That's why you see it broken up as 30 plus 8. So each place value is in its own box. And now we take these two boxes. 8 times 30 is going to give us the area of this box. And 8 times 8 is going to give us the area of this box. So 8 times a 1 digit and a 10 digit, that means that we're going to be in the tens place value. So if I see a 0 here, I just put a 0 right there to start. Now 8 times 3 is 24. So 8 times 30 would be 240 because it's the tens place value, which means we would have nothing in the ones place value. We're in the ones place value, so 8 times 8, one of our math facts, is 64. So now you have the two partial products. I'm going to add those together to get the full product. So 240 plus 64. Say, start with my 1. 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. So I can put a 1 here and carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So 8 times 38 is 304. So you can pause the video again. Another good example to help us out. So now not only seeing problems that are computation problems, we're going to see also word problems that are going to involve us to multiply. So we're going to get a feel for what do they look like, what do they sound like, to help us realize that these are multiplication problems. As we continue this lesson, we're going to see division and adding and subtracting and multiplication all mixed together, sometimes more than one step in a problem. So you need to really start focusing on what makes this a multiplication problem, and then we'll solve it using our area model strategy. Maria's father planted 42 rows of tomatoes in his garden. So I'm picturing in my head 42 rows of tomatoes. All I'm thinking, that's a lot of tomatoes. Each row had 6 plants. So that row 1 has 6 plants, row 2 has 6 plants, row 3 has 6 plants. Oh, all right. how many tomato plants were in Maria's father's garden? Oh, I can see how this is multiplication because see all of these rows and all of these plants, so I know I'm going to multiply. So if I look at my numbers, I have 42 rows and 6 plants. So I know if I'm my area model, the one that has the 1 place value would go here, 6. And now I see the number 42, so I need to break up 42 by place values. Well, the 4 is in the tens place, so I would have 40. My 2 is in the ones place, so that will go there. Now, I'm going to take 6 times 40 is going to equal one part of it, and 6 times 2 is going to equal the ones place value part. So since I'm in the tens place value, I can put a 0 in the ones. Now 6 times 4 is 24. So that means 6 times 40 is 240. 6 times 2 is 12. I'm going to take those numbers. I'm going to take 240 and 12, and I'm going to add them together, and I'm going to get 252. But we'll notice in all word problems that we talked about in the last unit, we need to label, because these are word problems, just not what is 6 times 42. They're asking us a question. How many tomato plants were in Maria's father's garden? So the answer would be 252. And if you're ever sure, tomato plants. You always going to look right back in the question because the question usually is what we're trying to solve. So 252 tomato plants. So you can pause the video and show this work again, and you can see how we got this from a word problem. So now it's your turn. So you draw a line, put box number 3, now your turn. And what you want to do is you're going to solve these problems out using the area model strategy. So you have 9 times 47. So you can pause the video right now, look back at your examples, and see how your examples can help you with this problem. Another problem to try now. Notice you just see the number 7 times 64. Where did our model go? Well, our goal is that you're able to think of, okay, now here's my number. How do I draw the model? Because the model won't always be on all the pages for you. You're going to have to provide the model with your remembering of how we do it. So this is a great practice. If you're not sure, look back at your notes. Now's the time to use those notes to help you learn how do I do my area model. So pause the video and answer 7 times 64. And last but not least, we also want to give you a word problem so you start to recognize how word problems are written. So a library subscribes to 67 magazines. Each month, the library receives 3 copies of each magazine. How many magazines does the library receive each month? So I'd read this problem over to yourself again as our strategy about reading it twice. Think about what's asking you and try to solve it. And when you're done, make sure you give it a label. Good luck. And something to have kind of a fun thing to do to end class is to kind of write your own word problems. When we start to write our own word problems, it shows that we really understand how multiplication problems can be written. So when you kind of have those Mad Lib things where you're going to fill in the blanks, and then you'll have a chance to then solve it on your own. So I try to make it a 1-digit by 2-digit number. So blank has blank boxes of blank. There are blank blank in each box. How many blank does blank have altogether? So there's you go. Fill in the blanks. Complete the word problem, and then solve it. And remember, since it's a word problem, it also needs a label. I look forward to seeing your creativity in the word problems that you create. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to write them down, something we can discuss. Also, if you find any strategies that help you, also include them as well. This can help us with our class discussion to help more people understand the area model. Thanks for another great lesson.